Hey, what's happening? How is everybody? Hey, Sphinx. Hey, Steve. Kesha. I think I got it. Awesome. Molly, hello. Addie, you guys are all waiting. You must have been waiting or something. Yeah, let me share in the group like I always do. Happy Sunday to everybody. Let's see what's going on. Support group. Okay. We are officially live now. Okay, Charlie, Jeff, RT. Oh my gosh, lots of you already here. Hi, Lisa. Glad you could join us for your first time. So, boy, can you get evicted from Section 8 home for having alcohol? I don't know. I'm really big on being honest. I think you can get evicted from Section 8 for the same reasons you get evicted. I think you can drink in your own home, but if you get rowdy and violent and stuff, that's a different story. Hey, Terry. Hey, Renee. Hey, Jay. If I miss you, sorry. Agent 200, happy Easter. Christine, hello, hello. Albin, hello. Jola, happy Easter. How is everybody? I didn't know how, so I couldn't chat last week because I was on a plane. Hi, Nancy. And this is Easter for many people. And I didn't know how many would join the live chat. But since I was not able to chat with you guys, someday we'll be able to live stream from a plane and I could just see doing this chat sitting in row 3B or something, with people next to me. That'd be kind of really funky. Hey, Jody, happy Easter. Terry, are you in a storage locker? Kind of. It's my mom's house. So mom is in a nursing home and her house looks like that. So, hey, Derek. I don't know if you guys remember, I don't have a whole lot of choices of rooms here. So the other room I used to do it in, there was dolls. My mom has dolls everywhere. Except there's no dolls here. There's dolls in that room, and there's dolls in that room, and there's dolls, and she got dolls all over the place. So I figured this would be a safe bet. Yeah, I agree. No, my drums are downstairs. So just so you guys know, I came back home just to spend the afternoon with mom. Didn't know if she was going to be able to get out of the nursing home this week. Hopefully she will next week. I was hoping she would be home. We really did not know. But I flew back just for this, and then tomorrow morning I'm off to Columbus, Ohio. Kesha, I agree. It would be really weird unless I included them in some way. It's like, hi, I'm Mark talking about homelessness. What do you think about homelessness? And by the way, what's your name? Where are you flying to? Christine, I don't mind you asking at all. My mom is 88. She just turned 88. Well, just turned a couple months ago. But she had a stroke 40 years ago. So she's paralyzed from a stroke. That didn't stop her. She ran a business and drove a car up until probably she was 75. But old age, something we're not going to all conquer. So, hey, Darren, I am only seeing your message that says, please read the message. Oh, I hate that it filters chat. So I have it set. Now I have it so it goes through all the messages, but it goes through them really fast. So if I miss, I apologize. I try to answer everybody's question when they, have a serious, legitimate question or comment. Boost is exactly right. Crazy spending. So, boy, I would love to play drums for your band. Tyra, thank you very, very, very much. Hey, Miss Totos, why don't you guys recommend a topic? I mean, we can talk about homelessness. We can talk about YouTube. I was at YouTube all last week. We can talk about virtual reality. I am now. So those of you that don't know, Oculus, which is Facebook, Oculus is we're producing a movie on homelessness. And then Facebook selected invisible people. YouTube selected invisible people to do 5 VR 180 movies. So I was at YouTube all last week learning about VR 180, and it was really amazing. So hopefully, and I saw Derek's on here, hopefully I'm going to get up to San Francisco in June, and we're going to shoot some videos on homelessness, but VR 180. So, let me ask. So, you guys, are you familiar with VR 180? And what kind of stories would you be interested in? Hey, Juan, I am going to Denver at some point this summer. Oh, Addie. Oh my gosh. You've always got something going on. I am so sorry. You have surgery. Hopefully there's someplace that there's respite care. Albin, if I had 3 wishes, what would they be? So I would wish that Addie would be in housing because she's always got some kind of challenge and she's so awesome for moderating. She's always here helping out invisible people with this live chat. And that was just on my mind because she was asking about surgery and she's homeless and that's horrible. Then my mother could talk. So my mother from the stroke has trouble talking. So it's really hard to communicate with her. And that I wish that I could do invisible people full time. I'm still unemployed without income. I'm going to be without health care soon. So I do all this without income. And you guys all, or some people might think that's really cool, but if I had kids, there's no way I'd be able to do this. And it's just, someday invisible people may not exist because there's no funding coming in. And it limits because somebody earlier, I got a couple emails today from wonderful people with wonderful stories that I would like to go there and highlight, but, so that is Addie in housing. My mother could talk and enough funding for invisible people to hire 2 people, one being me and 1 person to run it. So Lana wants to talk about bombarded, illegal, more strained. Personally, I'm appalled and it's a serious problem. So Lana, and I'm going to address this. I've been staying away from this a little bit, but immigration is a challenge in every country, not just here. Immigration has always been a challenge. But immigration does not influence homelessness. Please stop the spin. Stop listening to Fox News and stop listening to Trump. And I'm just going to come out and say it. The leading cause of homelessness is a lack of affordable housing. People are not crossing the border from Guatemala and running into Phoenix and renting a luxury apartment. Okay? What is causing homelessness is the high skyrocketing rents. That is being created by greed and has absolutely nothing to do with immigration. Immigration is a problem. We have to figure out something. Us as a country, Democrats and Republicans, have failed on immigration. It's not just Trump. It's not just Obama. It's a problem. Right now, Trump has elevated the immigration. He's using immigration as a pawn to get his political agenda across, okay? And what's happening more and more is people are going, homelessness, immigration, illegals coming over, causing homelessness. No, they're coming over because there is war and death. They're coming over because they're trying to seek a better life. They're not trying to hurt America. They're murders, rapes, disease, lack of food. So they're coming here to try to seek a better life. And they don't have money. They don't. So they're not driving up the cost of rent. They're not. The leading cause of homelessness is the lack of affordable housing. And that is caused by greed, not immigration. Please stop the spin. Turn off Fox News. Stop the spin. Homelessness is not caused by immigration. Immigration does not influence homelessness. Please stop that. It's maddening how okay. So, and Lana, I'm glad you brought it up. It needs to be out in the open. We need the leading cause of homelessness is lack of affordable housing. Rents have gone up in this country 75% in the last 5 years. Rents are being driven up not from people crossing the border from Guatemala or El Salvador. No, they're being driven up. Anyways, hopefully you guys got it. But please stop the spin. And if you're a Trump supporter, God bless you. If you're not a Trump supporter, God bless you. I try to stay away from politics here because it just takes us down a hole that is maddening. And to be honest, both sides, Republican and Democrat, are stuck on stupid right now. And us, the American people, are, anyways. You just, so hopefully that answered your question. So can't wait to see the comments on this one. So Blaze Flame, Blaze Flame is asking about people host homes. I have a video where you at for people are opening up the homes for homeless youth, and it's working. I've never seen it like somebody just opening their door. I know of some good and bad situations, but it's never worked out full time. Through an agency that can offer support, I think host homes work. Yeah, kicking asphalt. I mean, it's a crisis. That is the crisis. And immigrants are not driving up rent. They're not. They're coming across and sleeping on the dirt, you know? Oh my gosh. So zero tolerance, you know, Fox News is really entertainment. The guy that started Fox News, I mean, it's spun. It's spun. They are targeting conservatives so they can sell advertising. CNN is funky too. Not as bad as Fox, but CNN. NPR, National Public Radio, is very well balanced. BBC, you know, British Broadcasting Company, is balanced because you know, it's interesting. I don't know how many of you are from another country or travel. When you go overseas and you watch, like even Canada, when I go over to Canada and I watch CBC about what's going on here, it's totally a different news story. And we have to be careful. You know, and you know, the Democrats are doing it too. So the Republicans are all you guys are going to get me into politics. No. Derek, you are right on. So what I see is the Republicans are really all about the 1%, the rich getting rich, and they keep using trickle down economics, and trickle down economics don't work. When the rich get richer, they hold on to it. They don't trickle it down. And the Democrats, who are supposed to be supporting social services, are in this political war, and they're using us Americans as pawns. And nothing, I mean, you know, I don't want to hear about the Mueller report anymore. I don't. I want to hear about homeless people getting housing. I want to hear about families that can't make ends meet being able to afford rent and food. I want to hear about college students going to college and graduating without hundreds of thousands of dollars worth of debt. I want to hear about, you know, like what happened in Sri Lanka. I want to hear about love and grace, and what happened in Sri Lanka is horrible. You know, there's this madness in the world today. There was somebody yesterday who commented about how something happened to her because of her race. And I did, you know, the hugs in parentheses like I do. And then somebody commented back on it. I mean, in a negative way. I mean, they commented back in a negative way. Come on, people. The world is fucked up right now. Stop making it worse. Please. And I'm sorry I cussed. I try not to cuss. But anyways. Hi, Karen. You are not going to have a better time getting housed if you're an immigrant. You know why? Because there's no housing. So just stop. You got to stop the madness. I mean, immigration's a problem. I'm not saying it's not a problem. But they're not coming over here stealing jobs, and they're not coming over here stealing apartments. They're doing jobs we don't want to do. We don't want to pick lettuce. You know what? If there were not people coming across the border, migrant farmers, lettuce would be $15 a head. And you would be paying $10 for a Whopper at Burger King just from the vegetables alone, maybe more. You know, and you know, they're doing jobs as Americans we don't want to do, but then we bitch about it. You know, and it's an issue. It is a serious issue. I got to tell you, so when this is God's honest truth. So You ready for a story? Let's go to story time. I worked as an outreach case manager in Los Angeles, and there was a couple from Guatemala. They didn't speak any English. They were illegal, and they had newborn baby twins. Newborn baby twins. And I don't speak any Espanol, none. I mean, taco quesadilla is about all I speak. I know, bad jokes. Bad jokes. I'm good with the bad jokes. So my job is to help this family. So, I cannot speak English to them. I mean, I can speak English, they don't understand. And my job is to get them in a van and take them to a hotel and then try to connect them to services. So, because they were illegal at the time, this is a few years ago, because there was illegal, there was no services for them, even though they had baby twins. The twins, I mean, they were just weeks old. They were so adorable. And often when I'm working with homeless families, I'm focused on helping the babies. I'm focused on helping the children. So to me, those children, they weren't illegal. They were beautiful. And I'm going to help them. Damn it. And I worked really hard, and it was really, so the first day, and it was winter shelter season. So there's a National Guard armory, and there was a couple of National Guard soldiers that worked as translators. Otherwise, it would have been so much more difficult. And I was able to get them in the van and get them food and everything else. And I'm allowed to help somebody for 3 days. After 3 days, the funding cuts off. So in 3 days, I got to find them someplace to live, the babies and the parents. And so get them into the hotel. And, I'm doing everything by like sign language and everything because we don't understand each other. But by the second, third day, the mom knew that I was safe, that I was there to help her. And she trusted me. And I had to do it all through actions, not words, all through actions, which was really, really amazing. So at the end of the 3 days, there was not one single government agency that would help a homeless family with newborn twins that were illegal. None. Not one government agency. None. So stop the spin. I had to find them a church because only a church would take them in. Only a church would take them in. And I don't know, maybe they gave them a closet, maybe they gave them a room. I doubt they gave them an apartment, but that was it. So now fast forward a couple of years, and I'm walking down by Victoria Station in London. And I'm doing my sock thing, handing out socks. And, I'm asking, they call it rough sleepers. And I'm asking rough sleepers, you want some socks, And all of a sudden, these two guys, they're American. They're out sleeping rough, homeless in London. I'm like, what are you guys doing here? What are you guys doing here? And, because, it was quite shocking. So the one guy, he was born in Poland. And just so you know, the European Union at the time has this alliance, Brexit and everything. I don't know what's going to happen, but they had this alliance. So because he was born in Poland and then his family relocated to the United States, he could get services. The other guy had no connection to the European Union. He was born in Wisconsin or something, right? So the one guy, American, could go into shelters and get support. The other guy could get no support because he had no connection to Europe. Because in London and every place else, and every country does this, there's a problem with immigration. People are leaving their country. In the United Kingdom, it's often Romania and Eastern Europe, some places in Africa. For us, it's Latin America, where people are coming up because they're war, they're being murdered, it's horrible conditions. And, this whole, I'm going to stop because I get really emotional about this. But there is not more support for immigrants than homeless people. There's no housing for either. There's no housing in Los Angeles. And I just got back from Los Angeles. I quote Los Angeles a lot because I'm very involved there. There's no housing. I'm in Binghamton, New York. There's 40,000 people that live here. There's no housing. There's no housing for anybody. The high cost of rent, the high cost of housing is skyrocketing. So if people tell you that immigration has an effect on homelessness, tell them bullshit, because it doesn't. The leading cause of homelessness is the lack of affordable housing. Hey, Darren, you're asking about somebody that went the first homeless in Cardiff, and I would suggest going to the Welch, which is a great, great organization. Scoville, I think I did just address that reality. Annie, you're right. We're pawns. We're being, you know, yeah, Antonio. It's expensive in Florida and Phoenix and every place. Hey, Sheila, you're not late. So, Poo Poo Papa, nice name. I'm an old hippie. I would love to visit Slab City. I just someday I would love to. I have friends that traveling homeless youth, and they say it's gotten really dangerous. So, from what I hear, Slab City is not a safe place. Hey, Dan, Philadelphia and most major cities has a huge drug problem. And it's not just, I should say, I was in Jackson, Ohio, a city of 5,000 people, huge drug problem. We have a drug problem in this country. You see, so there's this, just so you know, there's this chronic homelessness. The drug addicts, the drunk, the person with the cardboard sign. You see, 38% of homeless people are families with children that you don't see. You're grouping all those drug addicts into painting this, with a wide brush, saying that's all of homelessness. It's not. Majority of homeless people are sober. And yes, drugs are a problem. So drugs, like for me, drugs took me down to homelessness. For others, it's how people cope. We need to, in the description, is a link to a Housing First video. I mean, we pay for it. Whether you want to blame it on the drug addict or the alcoholic or whatever, or affordable, doesn't matter. You're paying huge taxpayer money. We need to house people because housing saves lives and saves money. Watch the video. Lady T. Tammy, thank you so much. Just so you all know, I don't do fundraising here. I might sometime, do like a webathon type thing where it'll be intentional. I greatly appreciate when people donate, but I'm not asking for it. So, and Tammy, thank you for your generosity. Dimitri, you're right on it. People use drugs to cope. People use drugs to escape pain. Majority of drug addicts are in housing. They're in the condos in the suburbs, you know? I mean, there's more drug addicts in housing in Philadelphia or New York or LA or any place than there are on the streets. Lady D. So, struggling for life, how are you? So, the point of this channel is I'm already helping homeless people every waking moment. We're not trying to guilt people into taking action. We're trying to educate people. To answer your question, yeah, if I have money on me and a means, and I see a homeless person that needs a tent or food, I help. Follow me on Twitter, follow me on Instagram. You'll see a lot of it. But charity never solved a social crisis. Charity is good. It's okay to feel good. People need clothes. It's okay to clothe them, but it's not going to help them. And in most cities, inner cities, there's an overabundance of food. We need to get people into housing. We need to get people into housing. We need to end homelessness. And a sandwich or a new pair of jeans is not going to end homelessness. And yes, there are people in this chat room that are doing everything they can to help homeless people. And there's homeless people in this chat room. You're welcome, Tammy. Thank you. So D, I have a video about tiny homes in Springfield I thought was really good. I've done some at Austin, Texas. I've been at Dignity Village. I've been to several tent communities, tiny homes communities. We just can't warehouse people. If there's services and communities, tiny homes are good. I mean, I get it all the time. Somebody designs an igloo for homeless people and everybody starts sending me links. You know, that's just a box. Shipping containers, a box. Tiny homes is a box. If they provide community and support services, then tiny homes are good. Agent 200, I'm glad you asked. Go to invisiblepeople.tv, click on get involved if you're in the United States, and advocate for more affordable housing. If you're in other countries, I ask you to do the same. I just don't have a platform for it. I am sorry somebody stole your tent. Hey, James. Yes, in fact, we're going to be doing a story on mobile homelessness. There's several. If you go to invisiblepeople.tv, there's a topic thing. Click on mobile homeless. And that's what happens is people lose their job. They go rent an RV or live in their van. Scott Punk, I saw him in here earlier. He's a full-time RVer living in a van. And some people make a decision to do that. Notice the word decision. That's nomadic. That's not homeless. They made a decision. And the people that don't really have a choice, those are homeless people. Jay West, hopefully you're out of that situation, and you're right. So Kevin Pack, can you tell me in succinct manner how we are going to end homelessness? Um, we know how to end homelessness. In the description of this video, click on Housing First. It's a 4-minute video and watch it. We've known how to end homelessness. The problem is there's no political will to do it. The real problem is homeless people don't vote. So when you're worried about where to sleep at night, you're not really concerned about political advocacy. Congresswoman Judy Chu, I was in her office in Washington, D.C., and she came right out and said the reason homeless people don't have support is they don't vote. Elderly votes, LGBT votes, right, left, all these different, they vote. But homeless people don't vote. So we have to stand in the gap. We have to vote for homeless people. And if we don't do anything about the affordable housing crisis, I don't know what the next 5-10 years is going to look like. 11,000 people a month are entering into homelessness in Los Angeles County. 11,000 people a month. 11,000 new people a month. So, Eric, I agree with universal basic income, but we can't even get universal basic health care. Come on. I mean, I do. Universal basic income, I think we have to go there. I mean, in 5 years, trucks will drive themselves. 4 million truckers will be out of work. Data entry clerks, there's 7 million of them in the country. Pharmacists will be out of work. I mean, even in my job, what I do in marketing, I'm unemployed right now, but when I am working, I work in marketing. They say the only person left is going to be the poor sucker that has to go to meetings. Everything else is going to be automated. We're going to see job loss like we have never seen. And the housing cost still going up. So we have to do something now. I Yeah, Pamela, Canada does have better healthcare, but it's not perfect. The UK, I see better. I mean, and you go to Norway, Finland, different countries. Hey, Lone Ranger, how are you? Local tourist, you're exactly right. I mean, I have tried to rally homeless people for advocacy, and it's really challenging. And I get it. I mean, their life is in chaos. And then on the other side, um, the I was working on Prop HHH in Los Angeles, and I recommended to the people that were behind the campaign that we get buses because Prop HHH was to help homeless people. And I said, we get buses and go to the mega shelter. There's 4 or 5 shelters that have 1,000 people each. It's 5,000 people right there. And they wouldn't do it. So, Surfer Zero, you're a trucker. What do you think about automation coming? I mean, there's got to be talk in the industry. So Scoville 7, yeah, I mean, we are running on debt and universal health care. So if you go to the UK or Finland, so I'll use Norway because I was in Norway 2 years ago, and everything, college is free, healthcare is free. It's truly amazing, but they pay 40% of their income is taxed. And that's what we don't want here. I mean, that's what people are fighting against. And it's the people that got billions of dollars that are fighting this, that really could give some of their money to others. The lower income people, you take 40%, it's going to be disastrous. But it's the rich people that don't want to help the poor people. And, we're going to have to change. We're going to have to change. We're going to have, there's, I forgot how many. There's a huge amount of, Amazon is one, Chevron is another. Corporations, because of Trump's tax cuts, paid zero income tax this year. And they grossed billions of dollars, billions. And they didn't pay any income tax. I paid around $5,000. Just doesn't seem right. I mean, I think I made a little under 30,000 freelancing and marketing last year, and I had to pay 5,000 of that to the government. But that's the rub right there. The rich people have to be willing. I mean, they're not going to die with that. I mean, they're going to die, but you can't take it with you. I mean, there's people, the top 1% are so rich. They are so stinking rich. They can afford to help, but they fight it. They fight it all. Anyways. So somehow the scroll is, I wish that YouTube would fix the live chat scroll, but somebody asked, where do you park? And that's a huge issue for homeless people because of criminalization. So there's a video on my channel of a woman in Berkeley who sleeps next to her car because she was arrested for sleeping in her car. In many communities in this great country of ours, it's actually illegal to sleep in your car. Now, if you're driving and you pull over and go to sleep, they're not going to ticket to you. If you're a homeless person, they're going to ticket you. It's really targeted. Yeah, Ivan, that's, there's no easy answers. What Ivan is talking about is, people in France, they're taxing 50 and then 75%, and people leave because they don't want to pay for other people. I really am unemployed without income. There's a gentleman, I won't call him out here, a formerly homeless person, that gave me $250 a couple weeks ago, and that's the only income that I've had. This week, I'm speaking in Ohio, and I'll make a little bit of money. But that was it. I've had no speaking gigs this year and no consulting gigs. And the other night, Walter was the last video of on invisible people, and the cops took their tent and everything they own. And Walter, the tent, he went and bought a new tent for $39, and they were out of money. They had no food. So I opened my wallet and then gave him $40, the last $40 on me. So I made $250 this year. January, February, March, April, I made $250, and I gave 40 of it away to homeless people. If we were all like that, the world would be a better place. And I'm using that as an example, not to I'm not all that. I'm an old fat guy that just likes homeless people, So, but Ivan, you're right. Wow, Rashid, interesting story. Hey, night hiker. I don't know if it's open to the public. I have friends in. I got to find out. I have friends in Columbus. I used to live in Columbus. So there'll be another time. I got to get up to Cleveland. Oh my gosh. What advice would you give to somebody that's in a wheelchair, homeless? I don't like to get just the thought of it because I have friends. If you see Jennifer, Jennifer's in Toronto. She's outside even in the wheelchair. I've interviewed her twice and my heart breaks. So if that's you and you should pass 21, my heart breaks for you. I don't like to give advice when I don't know because otherwise I'm just making stuff up. Bree USA, thank you, thank you, thank you. Dennis, the whole word hobo has gone away a long time ago. There are train hoppers. A lot of homeless kids hop train. No, hey, Sheila, I probably have a pretty good signal here. I think I do. And you guys all, audio's good? Okay, shit where? Huh? Shit where, Chief? Nobody chooses homeless. Nobody. Nobody. There is a very small demographic of people that want to live off the grid. I mean, it's like a percent of a percent of a percent. But anytime they want, they can go and get out of homelessness. They can go to an ATM and go rent an apartment. It's a choice. They are not homeless. That's nomadic. The rest of the people, where you're probably going is, oh, it's their fault. They did drugs. They're alcoholics. They're bums. They're lazy. Oh my gosh, homelessness is the hardest job ever. You got to walk miles for water. There's no days off. You rarely get sleep. Homelessness is hard. There's no vacation days when you're sick and homeless. Anyways, what happens when somebody first becomes homeless? They try to get out of homelessness. They really try, and we don't make it easy for people to get out of homelessness. And they keep hitting that wall, and after a while, the brain has to say, the brain's really powerful. The brain says, either I'm a piece of crap, society hates me, or I want to be homeless. So it's called learned helplessness. But nobody wants to be homeless. Nobody. The leading cause of homelessness is the lack of affordable housing. And if you think people, they made bad choices. We all make bad choices. Every single person in the world makes bad choices. If homelessness was a punishment for bad choices, we'd all be homeless. But here is the thing, and I know I repeat myself when these questions come up, but this is what you got to tell your neighbors, your coworkers, and everybody else. It doesn't matter if they're on drugs or why they got there. You're paying for it. As taxpayers, you pay huge money per homeless person that's out on the street. Go to the description. There's a 4-minute video on housing first. Watch it. By housing homeless people, we save lives and we save money. Hey, Chris Moon, thank you, thank you. Wow, 162 people. I think we're up to 164 a second ago, but I was in the middle of a rant. Chef, where are you? Where are you cooking out on the streets? And I like the emojis. $166. We were. Kesha, yeah. I think so. Maybe 9 o'clock. We're coming up on 9 o'clock. My battery is, I'm in crisis mode here. So, any last words? I've got to log off. My battery on my laptop is about ready to die, and I got to get ready for Columbus, Ohio. Yeah. How much battery do I have left? I'm in red. My laptop's blinking. I'm in trouble. Okay, I am going to say goodbye. Next Sunday, I think I'll be able to do this. So next Sunday, 8 or 9 o'clock, if you check the community section, you will see, I will let people know. I am so grateful to each and every one of you that we spend an hour together most every Sunday nights. I really enjoy this time. We have good conversations. And those of you that ask challenging questions, keep them coming. That's how we learn. I hope I come off, I have a lot of passion. But that's how we learn. Anyways, everybody, I hope you have a marvelous week, and I will see you next Sunday.